So I have decided to come to Napoli for a day, and I just wanted to see what the I wanted to try their pizza margherita basically, just for a day because I wanted to actually focus on Rome in this trip. But I'm quite fascinated, or also quite worried at the same time, with what kind of a place this is. I'm literally in the city center in a hostel, okay, and let me show you what do I see from my window, so you make up your own mind rather than thinking what the hell am I saying. So check this out. You can see all the rubbish on the floor. I can also show you from here. Look at the Yeah, you can see from here how look at the conditions of the walls. It literally looks like I'm in a very scary place. But I shouldn't really say scary, or a very run down place, even though this is the center of the city, just a back alleyway of that center. So it's scary to say the least.
Naples is a regional capital of Campania and is the third largest city in Italy. And it's suffice to say that it was extremely underwhelming. And in this video, you'll find out why. But before we do that, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification, as it really helps with the growth of this channel. After doing some research on the city, I realized that the whole place is actually run by local mafia, and they dump a lot of waste in and around the city, which was puzzling to me.
This city feels really weird. It doesn't feel like a typical Italian city at all. It's like I feel like it's neglected by the government or the people who rule this place, I suppose, who run this place, because I don't know whether you guys can see, it looks very run down. And I'm in the center right now. This is where the train stations are. And I'm quite surprised, to be honest with you. I did not expect Napoli to be like this. I know it's famous for a lot of places, but I'm definitely sure that the city center is not one of them. It literally feels like I'm in either an Asian country or an African country. This actually reminds me a lot like Pakistan, to be honest with you. Lahore. Or Morocco, Marrakesh actually looks a lot like this, like open plan spaces, buildings, kind of like ancient building as well. A bit of, especially from the buildings as well. They look, they also remind me of Vienna for some reason. I mean, I don't know whether you guys can see. Let me show you. That building over there. It's really run down. It really looks quite ancient. So I don't know what kind of theme they're going here for, but I'm quite surprised with the way Napoli has turned out for me. And obviously I would like to discover new places. I was talking to a lot of places, to the person who was in the hostel, and he told me that there are other places which are much better, which are close to Napoli, and that's why people come to Napoli, like Capri or Sorrento or Pompeii or Amalfi or Positano. So that's why people come to Napoli for. I'm going to do a historic tour of the city later on, so I'll let you know how that goes. But first impressions are quite shocking, to say the least, given the fact that it's so close to Rome. I would expect it to have some sort of continuation of the theme that Rome kind of presents itself with, but it doesn't. It's a completely different city with completely different outlook, completely different themes, and so yeah, bear in mind when you come here. And also, I also showed you the fake markets just now as well. So there's a lot of people who come from Africa, who come from Asia, who sell fake goods in those markets. And I suppose you gotta live, you gotta do what you gotta do. But really surprising to see that's happening in this country as well. Okay, I may sound a bit controversial here, but I actually don't care. Like, this city is really run down, and I feel really bad for the people who are here, and they're mostly African and Asian people, even though I'm brown myself. The sad part is that they're pretty much sleeping on the floor, and I don't want to show you guys, but there's like steps right there. I don't know whether you guys can see, but they're pretty much like all lying down there and sleeping and stuff, and just waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for, but this place is really run down, and some people really need to take care of this place because it's a nice look at the weather. And I don't know whether you can see, there's mountains in the back. I swear to God, this could be a really lovely place, but I think it's neglected. I don't know who neglected it. I don't know the history of this place. I'm very curious to find out now. I will include it in the video, of course, because it'll allow me to kind of research and understand what the hell is happening with Napoli versus any other city. Because I've been to Milan, I've been to Bologna, I've been to Venice, I've been to Rome. I did not expect Napoli to turn out the way it actually has. It just looks like either a rundown Eastern European city. I remember, what's that guy's name? The bald guy. He travels and he showed like, I think it was Belarus. It wasn't Belarus. Probably it was Belarus. I can't remember. One of the cities he showed was absolutely horrendous and completely run down and was not taken care of since the USSR split, basically. And yeah, I mean, this kind of gives me similar vibe. It's very busy, I must say, which is a good sign, I suppose. But it looks like it hasn't been taken care of at all.
Despite being Italy's fourth largest economy, Naples still remains as one of the poorest cities in Europe due to high levels of organized crime and political corruption, with plenty of sites resembling the favelas of Brazil.
I'd like to also include in the video that these are just my first impressions of this place. Like, I haven't really seen Napoli in detail, essentially. I'm curious, of course, to find out more, but my views have always generally lied towards center-left, or even left or progressive, you could say. But I can definitely understand a mind of a racist, because I have been subjected to racism myself whilst being in the UK. And even now as well. I'm actually, I don't know, for you, those of you who do know, I'm actually Pakistani. Even yesterday, a guy who looked at my passport, which is British, by the way, for those of you who don't know, says that I was born in Pakistan. Well, it says I was born in Lahore, which is one of the cities in Pakistan. And it didn't say where Lahore was. So he was asking me, and he presumed I was from Syria. So I get the feeling of that cynicism, I suppose. But at the same time, I also understand when I wouldn't call them a racist, or some people believe that they felt like being taken over, because you can see loads of immigrant populations who come in this city, and they bring their, I'd say bad habits with them. One of them is littering, as you can see. Look at this. You know. And these bad habits, and they're actually associated with my culture as well. I would say that out loud towards all the Asians and Pakistanis who have literally no respect for the street, who have no respect for what their place actually has to offer, and who've actually lost the ethos of my culture, which is to stay clean and to do good to the animals, to be a better person, essentially. And we've lost that, and once we come here as an legal or illegal immigrants, as refugees or whatever, we bring that with us, and there's essentially no respect for that whatsoever. And based off of that, basically, I also want to caveat this with, look at that. I mean, are you kidding me? This is not what a respectful citizen do, essentially. And you'd find this in the city that I live in Birmingham as well. And I will show you some of the terrible, terrible places that you can go to, and it's so dirty, and it's absolutely run down by immigrants, I'm sorry. And it's driven out the white English population completely to the suburbs. And that's why people think of my city as a dump as well. So I take a strong stance on this, because I live in that city, and I don't want that city to represent it. I don't want that city to be seen as a negative in any sense of the word whatsoever. So from my perspective, I think it's important for us to understand and recognize why people say the thing that they're not racist. They just want, I don't think that they're racist anyway. They just want a clean environment. They just want the people who visit their country, people who visit this place, to actually respect that place, to actually respect that country. And I understand why I understand why that turns into racism, because they feel like their whole country has been taken over by immigrants, which is not true, because once immigrants actually come over, they actually concentrate on one single space. They actually live together in one place, and obviously that place then becomes dirty because of their living habits. Like right now, so I've just come out of that, wherever the hell I was, to this area, and now look at this. It's absolutely clean. There's nothing, it's like a different world. So my whole point is that, so the two things need to happen. Obviously, if you want immigrants to be completely integrated, you need to educate them. You need to make them understand. You need to support them so that they can, if you want them to be integrated, that is. And I'm sure immigrants would want to be integrated. And those who don't want to be integrated, they should not be in the country that they're in. Okay? If they're trying to change the culture of that country, they should not be in that country whatsoever. They should leave and be in some place else, because that's not what immigration is all about. That's never appreciated in any country whatsoever. And that's what I would also like to remind you, for those of you who are listening, that's what the British did. Because whenever they went, they imposed their culture and their values and their, I suppose, ways of living onto the citizens of those people back in the day. And same things, in essence, I wouldn't say same thing, but similar things are happening to them right now. So my viewpoint towards all of this is that two things need to happen. Immigrants need to become integrated. They need to understand the ways of life in the country that they're living in. They need to respect that country, of course. They need to learn the language. They need to do these things to really feel a part of the community that they're essentially a part of. And other people need to, the people who are, look, I'm not some advocate here, but this is what I see. Other people who don't want those people in the country, try and kind of meet them in the middle and try and understand their trials and tribulations, their backgrounds, and what kind of pains that they have gone through as well, to kind of support them and uplift them, because we're all humans at the end of the day and we all need each other's support. All right, you've heard my rant, and I apologize for kind of ranting on and on and on and on, but I hope this was a useful video to you. If you like that video, please give like, share and subscribe to this channel, because it really helps the channel grow. And I'll be going to more places, so comment down below where would you like me to go, essentially. And yeah, I'm sorry if this might hurt someone. You know what, I'm not sorry, because I stand by my values, I stand by my principles. And you can call me racist, or you can call me a leftist, call me whatever the hell you want. I really don't care. Thank you very much, and have a lovely day. Take care.